Ladies and gentlemen, that means all of you. Could I have your eyes to the front of the auditorium for a moment here? Yes, thank you so much. We have tonight Okay, we're going to hear from the Sons, and we're going to take a little break right here for a minute, all right? Hi, I'm Garry. New Dream Productions is the name of our company, and we're putting on a show here in McMinnville. Yes, indeed. That would be Celebrate McMinnville. We have the Sons of Champlin, Bill Champlin, who is a finalist on The Voice, and the group We Three will be here on Saturday night. Friday night is just the Sons and Will, and then on Saturday night will be We Three, the Sons, and Bill Champlin. We hope you all make it out here, so come on down. New Dream Productions is just like it says, it's about a new American dream. We believe that people should not only have a job so they can make money, they should also have a job that they can enjoy. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about creating jobs. I heard somewhere that people were into redistributing wealth, right, number one, and then creating jobs, number two, and feed the hungry, number three. Well, the idea behind our company is that you can come to work with us. We have all different kinds of jobs to choose from. We have jobs that involve food service. We have jobs that involve entertaining people. We have jobs that involve picking out venues, footwork. We have research to do. We have all sorts of things. Demographics that have to be looked at. Invitations that need to be put together. Posters, art, you name it. New Dream has a place for you to bring your talent and your skill, and most of all, your experience. Because we want you to have a time of your life. We want you to be able to say that not only do I go to work, but I enjoy my work. Because that's our GPD. We are the people that say, we want you to be happy when you work. We want you to whistle while you work. How's that? That's a pretty good dream. Thank you.
Follow your heart, 'cause you know what you like, my brother.
Hi, I'm Joshua.
I'm Bethany.
And I'm Manny, and we're We Three. Had a great show tonight, getting to play with Bill Champlin, the Sons of Champlin, and Bill Champlin. Awesome guys, awesome. And yeah, we're gonna be playing at McMinnville's next Saturday, the 21st.
Here in town.
Here in town, and the Edgefield one on the 25th.
Yep.
Edgefield coming as well.
Yeah, we've got a ton of shows with Michael Allen Harrison in December. The 13th through the 19th up at the Old Church in Portland. We'll be debuting our new album.
We're going to be releasing it in 3 parts. We're going to be doing 4 songs, hopefully within a month. That will be coming out. And then a month later, another 4 songs, and then the final thing with bonus tracks and other stuff like that. And so be looking out for that. We're really, really, really excited for it. So
Yeah. We might also have a last-minute Christmas project
yes,
coming in December too. So that one's kind of a surprise, but we're excited about that too.
Yeah.
be looking out for those.
Yeah.
So follow us, check us out, we3music.com.
Yep.
And
We3 Music spelled out everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
We have a mailing list if you want to keep
In
up to
touch.
date on all of our gigs and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Baby, try you won't fix it. You said it's not true.
What's going down? Bill Champlin here. We are at the Yamhill County Fairgrounds in McMinnville, Oregon. We just played a show tonight with We Three and Sons of Champlin, and it's great to be here. Alan and Garry put this whole thing on and turned out great. I'm actually amazingly great. Next week and the following week, I'm going to be opening for Joan Osborne for several dates. Houston, Dallas, Redding, Livermore, Grass Valley, and Carlsbad, Solana's Beach. Check my website for some details, willchamplin.com, and Spotify. Follow me on Spotify. Just look up Will Champlin on there, and got all my tour dates on there. Got some new music on there, new Petty cover, and another collab with Kurt Hugo Schneider is on there, Maroon 5 cover. And I got some new stuff coming out that's very much in the indie electronic music kind of genre. So as you guys saw, I did kind of a looping pedal thing today, but it's more the acoustic version of what is to come. So lots of magic in the works for your eyes and ears. Thank you guys so much.
Hi, I'm Lana Drew. I'm the office manager at the Yamhill County Fairgrounds. The Yamhill County Fairgrounds is the oldest fairgrounds in the state of Oregon. We have a lot to offer Yamhill County with events that are going on year-round, almost every weekend. We have horse shows, we have events in our pavilions, we have sales, we have private events. Lots happening here. Our current activity coming up that you might be interested in is the concert for the Sons of Champlin. And that'll be happening later this month in our Leslie Lewis Pavilion. That's a 7,500 square foot facility that we rent out for private events, corporate events, and it's also our exhibit hall during our annual fair. We hope you'll come out and visit us and look at our beautiful grounds. Falls is a great time to visit us. In addition to our annual fair every year, which is a 4-day fair running Wednesday through Saturday, we also do annual events for things like the Pacific Overland Expo. The Pacific Overland Expo features all kinds of horse-drawn equipment, ancient and new, and it's a great time to look at things and auctions off items. We have stagecoach rides and concessions and all kinds of fun things. That happens every April. We also do a farmhouse show 2 times a year, so those of you that love home decor won't want to miss that. We have several days of all kinds of exhibits going on in the pavilion with vendors who feature homemade, repurposed, antique, and new farm decor. In addition to that, we also do our OSET district meets here every year. That takes a lot of our time during the spring, and we have high school competitors here with their equine co-partners there doing all kinds of activities. Fun to come and watch. So do come and visit us during the months of February, March, and April during the week, and you'll see some great things going on through the week and the weekend both. So our 4-day fair every year happens in August. We always take in the last Saturday of August, and we start the Wednesday before that date. We have 4 great concerts. This year some great stuff coming up, so please watch our website and know who's coming and make your plans to attend our fair.
Hi, this is Bill Champlin and my new friend Mojo. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Yeah, he's a good guy. And we're sitting here at I guess the McMinnville Inn in McMinnville, Oregon. We're ready to go do our second night at the Fairgrounds. The Sons is a real interesting band. It's been around really in many different forms, but it's been around since 1965. So we were part of the Fillmore, Avalon, San Francisco scene, even though we were living in Marin at the time. Marin County's right across the Bay Bridge, or not the Bay Bridge, the Golden Gate Bridge. And you know, we all kind of grew up there. We ended up having a ball. It's really a cool band. You should check it out. It's just everybody. I mean, you know, we've gone through a lot of different different situations with different musicians in the band and stuff. And at some point in the game, especially when we got Tim Kaine as the tenor sax player and one of the singers, Tim rejoined the band in about, I want to say 5 or 6 years ago. And I hadn't played with him for like, he was the arranger and sax, horn arranger, and basically the arranger of the first Sons album. And then the second Sons album, and then he bailed out. He just kind of dropped out and went up and lived up in the hills in Trinity Alps in California. And I hadn't played with him in like 35 years, so we did a little solo gig together, and I just said, hey man, bring your sax, come over and play a little bit, sing one or two of your songs. So I rehearsed a couple of his songs with him, and I was doing the whole thing. And at the end of that, I just heard his tone on the tenor, and I went, oh yeah, this is my kind of. Sounds a little like Clarence Clemens, but a little more in tune than Clarence used to be. And B3, we use Hammond B3 on everything. That's always nice. I try to build everything around the organ pretty much. I mean, even if I'm not playing it, if I'm playing guitar, then we put Jeff Palmer on organ, we build it around kind of where he puts the pocket. We have, some of us are from Southern California, some of us are from Northern California, and like that. So it's a really fun hang. I guess Sons of Champlin on Facebook.
Okay.
And then, and I think, I guess probably Sons of Champlin on YouTube. I would imagine some stuff would come up. I know they played a lot of old stuff from the, excuse me for yawning, from the Wolfgang's Vaults. So in other words, when we were playing at Winterland and Fillmore East and Fillmore West and all the Fillmores, they were taping us whether we knew it or not, and we never gave anybody any permission to do it. So that's standard BGP. Bill Graham kind of, hey, it's mine. I took the shots, but it's us. Sorry, that's how it goes. But there's a lot of that stuff that's on YouTube that you can find.
Awesome.
You purchase it, I guess, and BGP will be glad to take your money. It won't get to the guys. That's but that's the nature. I'm not accusing anybody of anything because I don't want to see. I don't want to have a lawyer calling me.
Right. Hey,
what are you talking about? Well, all right. We play every Labor Day. We go out to this place called Rancho Nicasio. It's owned by Bob Brown, who managed years ago. He managed Pablo Cruz, and then he managed Huey Lewis and the News. And so Bob bought this place at some point in the game, and he does these outdoor barbecues that are really a ball, And we do that every Labor Day. There's no stage. It's just sort of under a little awning, and the people that come out, they just know at this point of the game. We've done it almost every year for 6-7 years now, and people just come out just to, man, this is just going to be. It's like a gathering of the tribes in a way. Everybody gets to see people they don't see except when they go to Sons gigs. So there's a certain following that consider themselves way in the know because they're aware of us, and it's not like the Dead or the Airplane or groups that really had a lot of visibility. We never really had that much visibility. But ask anybody in those bands what they think of this. What they think of it. The Sons are kicking everybody's butt. And always have. It's been kind of that way. We're always the best, one of the best kept secrets. You know what I mean? So we even put out a record. It was a live show that we did at a music school in Berkeley, actually Emeryville, and they just called it Secret. They just called it, and they say, hey, it's the best kept secret in San Francisco music, or the Bay Area music. So, but we, occasionally something comes along. Somebody says, hey, I can pay you this much. You want to come up and do this gig here or do this gig there, and we'll leave town and go do it and come back, and people go, what the hell was that? Where did that come from? Why aren't you guys on the road all the time? It's, well, no, we're kind of on. I mean, I worked with Chicago for 28 years, and we were on the road continually, especially about the last 10 years of it. I mean, never had a break. With the Sons, it's like a whole other world. We just do Sons music. And if we decide to do a cover, it's because we're arranging it ourselves. Uh-oh, Caroline, they caught you.
They found out about me.
They're coming. So, so with the Sons, it's always just we play what we play, and people either get it or they don't. But if people demand hits, then I'll go out with other people. I play with Danny Serafin, who was the original drummer for Chicago. He and I go out and do gigs where we'll do a handful of Chicago songs and do it with him playing as a little more exciting kind of a hang, you know. And then I'll do other things where I'll go out, and I was lucky enough to be part of two songwriting teams that got me some R&B Song of the Year Grammys a few years back. So I'll go out and perform those songs for people, you know, my version of those songs. And I just like, I mean, I'm kind of a rampant arranger, so I have a tendency to rearrange stuff as I go. But I don't do those, it's not a play the hits kind of thing with the Sons. So that's not what we're about. Now, when I go out with other people want to hear the hits, I'll play the hits. I'll be glad to. You know, so it's two different kinds of gigs, and for me, it's really kind of cool to do both of them. You know, and one, I probably make a little more money, playing the hits and stuff like that. But there's just something real heartfelt about the Sons. There's, people can feel it from, the back of the room. It's like these guys are having fun. Yeah, these guys are for real having fun. It makes a big difference. Most of the singers that I hire are all piano players. Maybe not the best piano players, but they all have that keyboard, right across here, and that's how they see it. It's like, well, that's an E flat, and that's going to go to a G flat, and we're going to make this happen this way. So, I mean, it was me and Tom Kelly and Richard Page one time. We were doing backgrounds for Barry Manilow, believe it or not, and there was a set of vibes in the room. So I just got the vibes, put them over by the thing. I said, guys, here's your notes, and I'd take 3 hammers and I'd hit the notes, and everybody would go, okay. So it's pretty cool, because I mean, it really is all the composers are piano players. John Williams, who writes everything on the piano. Any of these guys, it's just Mark Isham, who actually played trumpet with the Sons for a while. He's one of the top, really one of the top soundtrack composers in the world at this point of the game. And Mark's the same way. He just goes to the piano and he basically writes it out on piano or on a keyboard of some kind. And then, plays it out to an orchestra, or probably prints it out on one of these software units where you play it and then it prints it out and there's your chart. Ooh. Nice. Rather than having to do this. Although I've worked with Joe Williams all the time. Joe sings lead for Toto, and his dad is John Williams, who did all of Star Wars and Indiana Jones and all those movies, and he's just an amazing musician. Amazing musician. And he said, Dad just, he's got like a drafting table next to the thing, and he writes everything out down to the last triangle. He does it all himself, And some soundtrack guys, I know Mark doesn't, but some soundtrack guys just, they just take they hit a piano chord and sing a melody and then send it to an orchestrator. It's like, yeah, I like John's way of doing it better. John Williams, I mean, I watch Star Wars or something comes on TV, and I wait for the end. When the credits are going along,
yes,
that's where he's talking. So it's almost like what an overture used to be in a Broadway thing. It's usually the tail credits on movies where the soundtrack composer can kind of let it fly a little bit. He's not having to build it around dialogue and car chases and whatever, there's just all these names of different people and his music's playing, and I used to just turn it off and say, well, the movie's over, and then I finally went, well, wait a minute, let me hear what this guy's up to, and you hear some amazing music just in the tail credits of movies. Some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. John, is there anything else that we?
Yeah, other than you got a really cool doggy. I like Mojo. He's
all right. He just kind of hangs out.
Me and Tamara we're dog freaks. We love doggy.
He just like to be wherever people are sitting around hanging out.
Yeah. And we got two Papillons, an older one and a younger one, and all ears. It's all ears. When we drive in, you see 4 ears sticking up in the window.
I call those his radar dishes. They just.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much it, isn't it? It's exactly it. No, I can't think of anything other than it's really cool to be up here. We haven't played in Oregon in a long time. I love it here, and Seattle's great. Sometimes we go out and play on Whidbey Island. There's some really good,
Really?
really good people. Try Portland for size. I mean, right downtown, right down from the Heathman. There's 3 corners. One of them's got the right by where they have the Blues Festival right there in town. On the third of 4 corners, that has a cappuccino bar. So 3 corners right in downtown. 3 of the corners are selling coffee. Wow. Think about that. I bet you it's probably one of them's probably traded out to sell weed at this point of the game. I seem to notice that it's definitely recreational is happening here in Oregon. Jeff was driving. Jeff Palmer, who's the vibes player with the band and piano player. He was driving up. He said the minute he got into Oregon, he looked up and there was a giant billboard that said marijuana next exit. Wow.
Forget about fuel for the car.
Yeah. Or, food for the, anything like that. Food, water.
Nah.
No, we got weed. We're happy.
Yeah.
I think it's all become a little bit of the wild, wild west after Colorado. And it's gotten really crazy in Colorado.
Really?
Well, I mean, most of the states around it aren't even medicinal. So there's a lot of people driving into Colorado to cover themselves. I've just dealt with a whole bunch of stuff where I kind of needed it. And at some point in the game, I was going, "This is great, but is there any chance of some clarity?" Just go, where were these laws 25 years ago when I really wanted them?
Yeah.
How about some clarity just for a change of pace? Let's go up to that bardo. Yeah. I mean, it was something. You get something bad happen to one person doesn't mean it's going to happen to everybody.
Right.
It's just the way it worked with that person. And I think that's the way everything works.
It is. Ways, It really is.
You look at music; everybody's got a different approach to just about everything musical. And it's somebody was saying, "Man, how do you make sure you get on the top 10?" And I said, "You don't. You just don't. You stumble into it. Everything. Every record that's a hit, there's a fluke involved somewhere in the beginning." Whether it be in the writing of the song, recording of the song, performance of the vocal, changing of lyrics, anything like that. And then it gets to selling it, and the promo guy did something here, or somebody did something there that made it happen, but it wouldn't have happened had it not been for a fluke. You look at the top 10 and there's 10 flukes up there. Not that it's all a complete fluke. I mean, you got to write a pop song, and you got a song that's really, really cool song on the radio, but it doesn't necessarily mean there weren't 50 other songs that are just as deserving. Yours happened to stumble into the door that opened to the top, to a hit. And I think that's just sort of the way it is with everything. You just do what you do. I mean, it's like everybody says, well, how do you get into art? How do you do art? You do craft until art happens. I just take off. I know when we were talking to Steve the other day, I was just saying, Steve, know this, I'm a rambling fool, man. I'll just let's go this way. It's kind of how I write songs. Yeah, you take a right, and eventually it'll come back to your main trail. But let's see what you find over here. You might find something that it's a better trail, or it's a better song, or a better lyric, or something. So we try them all. The way I look at it.
Yeah.
Anyway, isn't that right, Mojo?
Yeah.
Mojo's relaxed. He's grooving.
Yeah, he's the cool guy. I gotta
cool
say.
guy. I like him. I think we're screaming.
I do.
Well, I'm sorry about my rambling. I mean, somebody told me one time. I think it was Jim Messina was saying, "Listen, when you go do radio, make sure that you tell your story before they take you off on a left.
Yeah.
Because what you're there for is to push your record. At that time, it's just so." And it was he was just imparting some really good stuff that he'd learned over the years of working. And because he was a producer, I mean, before he was even an artist, he was a producer. I think he produced some of Kenny's first stuff. And somebody else suggested, why don't you just call it Loggins and Messina and both of you work? So, well, I haven't played my guitar in a while, I'll figure it out. And he just kind of, that next thing you know, there you have it.
Yeah.
Another fluke, But, what he was saying is, make sure that you say, that you tell your story and what you want to tell and stuff like that. And I said, okay, but I'll try.
Well, you're
I'm
the
not that
creative
good.
people get
I'm
together.
not selling an album this week, so I don't. I'm just hanging with Caroline and Mojo. That's all I know. You know, I'm hanging with some pals. So there you have it. You know.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.